Hi, this is Anthony Gucciardi, and I have a really important video for you on a subject that is one of the most powerful, and that is being happy. Because at the end of the day, that is so extremely important, and a lot of us aren't happy. A lot of us are still struggling with overcoming the negativity that is hitting us on a daily basis. And I want to share with you a 30-second technique that I estimate it will take you 30 seconds to actually do this to instantly become happier and to add value into your life. And this is not BS. This is not sensationalism. We're going to understand the building blocks of it, and I'm going to give you this technique. And I want to talk about value for a minute. You're going to hear me using that word a lot in this video. And I want to talk about internal versus external value. And I want to talk about how to actually achieve happiness. Because I've talked to the experts. I've probably spent 500 hours just on this subject, looking into it myself, not including writing about it and doing interviews on it. So to be clear, internal versus external value is everything here. It's the most important thing about achieving what you could call happiness. And it all has to do with living passionately. And I've suffered from really just being depressed for years because of all the horrible things that have continued to happen in our world and all of the people that are so sinister. But ultimately, I understand this principle, and that's what keeps me going, and that's why I'm making a video here on a Sunday, because I actually gain value from this, and I gain passion, and I gain happiness from doing these things and helping people. I'm going to share with you how I do that. So specifically, let's talk about internal versus external value and approval. So let's take, for example, a child who wants a candy bar at a grocery store, and he's like, please, I want that candy bar, blah, 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 making a fuss out of it, right? He's going to get that candy bar if the parents don't understand external versus internal value. And it is a kid, I understand. And they're going to give him that candy bar, and he's going to eat the candy bar. It's full of crap. It's going to make him feel worse. And he's going to get that external value and external approval for about 5 minutes. Now, let's take that to adult form, right? Let's talk about relationships for a minute. A lot of people are in terrible relationships or feel lonely and have no relationships. So they get all of their value and their approval from their potential partner. So let's talk about if you're on the street and you see a pretty girl, or if you're a woman and you see a pretty guy or whatever, you go up, a handsome guy hopefully, and you go up and you start chatting them up. Hey, how are you? What are you doing? And they give you instant approval with not much. Wow, you're really funny. You're really interesting. Blah, 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 blah. That is the purest form of external approval. That is basing your happiness and your value on someone else if you care so much about that. And so many people do. It's okay. We're going to learn the difference. And again, this is not just from me. This is what I've learned from so much research, talking to people that I won't even put out on this video because they... And again, this isn't just me talking. This is what I've learned from the experts, and we're going to get into the specifics. So you're getting value a lot of the times from other people or other sources. Television, junk food, internet pornography, internet surfing, internet garbage, whatever. The internet's a great thing, but a lot of the times you can waste your day on there. Or other people, your peers' approval, so-and-so's approval, people's approval, right? The public's approval. So many people can't even speak in front of an audience because they're more afraid of it than dying. That's actually a real statistic, a real poll. So all of these approval factors and these value factors go into determining who you are. Who you are as a person and how you value yourself. Are you even important to yourself? And when you allow external value to dictate and external approval to dictate yourself and your value and your impersonation of this person that you say is yourself, what happens is you become depressed if you don't get it. But really what's happening is you're depressed because you're not having internal value and you're not giving things. So specifically what I'm talking about, I'll give you a great example, is if there was an old woman having a heart attack across the street, right? Let's say you're in town somewhere and across the street an old woman is having a heart attack. Oh, help me, help me, help me. And you rush across the street and you accidentally bump into somebody, okay? And they say, hey, screw you. You just bumped into me. You jerk. You know, they start yelling at you. Do you really care? You're busy. You got to go save a woman having a heart attack. Do you really care what this guy has to say about you bumping into him? Of course not. You don't care. But if you're walking down the street on an average day, or if something bad just happened, someone just said you got fired or something, and someone pushes you, hey, get out of my way, you jerk, don't run into me. Oh, you might go ballistic. You might have a total meltdown, right? You notice the difference. The first one, you're living with purpose in that moment. You're trying to help that old woman. In the second one, you feel like you have no purpose, and you're going to be affected by everything. And this doesn't necessarily mean there's some magical law of the universe of your thoughts. It actually has to do with the fact that you give yourself value or purpose, right? So instead of pulling all these things in, just like a black hole, a massive black hole sucking in all of this stuff, the candy, the television, the consumer items, whatever you're doing on a daily basis for approval, you need to be pushing out and giving. You need to be giving things. You need to be giving yourself out there through a number of ways, and I'll give you some examples right now. Social media is the new media, and when you share something out, you can feel good about it. When you share something powerful like this video, or my work on Monsanto, or other people's work on Monsanto, or share a Tony Robbins video, just get some passion going in people's lives, and that is adding value to something. That's not pulling in all the value, stealing all these people's value. That is not adding value when you attack people that are trying to do good. That is not adding value. That is stealing value from other people to fill a void. But pushing value out into the world, such as sharing content or knowing that you have a bunch of old clothes in your closet that you want to give away to a nonprofit organization that's actually real, that's giving value, and that's powerful stuff. That is really, really giving yourself value. And I want this to be an inspirational video. I don't want this to be a negative video, and I understand there's a lot of negativity out there. This is how you escape all that. You live with passion. You're on a concrete road. You have a path, and you know that no matter what you're doing, you're going to save that old lady from the heart attack. You're going to do something purposeful in your life, and no matter what's hitting you, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So you want to have 30 seconds every single day. This is so simple. Everyone can do it. It's not even a minute. Take 30 seconds. It takes 5 seconds to share something on Facebook. So it's even less than 30 seconds. If you actually share something out on Facebook, if you share this video, if you share something else that makes you passionate and empowers you, that is literally giving yourself value. If you go into your closet and take 30 seconds to inspect the old clothes that you don't wear anymore, you put them in a bag and you personally deliver them to Goodwill or the Salvation Army and say, hey, I want to see where this is going. What does this do? You're giving value out, and you're letting your internal brain, your amazingly powerful brain, understand that you're giving value and you're giving your life purpose. Because so many people are suicidal and they want to kill themselves and they don't care and they're depressed and they say that life doesn't matter. It's because they don't give anything. They just take and take and take and take. All those people, sadly, and trust me, I've been there. I have been there. I was just taking and taking and taking and saying, oh, I deserve this. I'm so sad. You know, all these things are happening to me. Just doing horrible things and making mistakes and not realizing that all I had to do was give, push it out instead of pulling in all this stuff like a black hole. And you know what else happens? And I want to do a whole separate video on this. This is an impromptu little session. When you get upset, what do? You don't stand up tall. I am proud I just got fired from my job. You go like this. You get all depressed and angry and your muscles get all tight and you push forward like a bulldog, right? Like, what does a dog do when you go, hey, get out of here? You go up with a stick or something and go like this. And I'm going to stand up and show you. Your entire body tenses up like that, and your psoas muscle, which goes in here, it's a huge muscle, it goes throughout your hips and everything. It gets super tight. And you know what the psoas muscle is? It's spelled PSOAS. It's the fight or flight muscle. And when your fight or flight muscle gets tight, you're in a constant state of anxiety. It's preconditioned programming. You're conditioning your body to tense up and get stressed out and get mad and every little thing's affecting me and today my coffee was too hot. So your psoas is tightening up and your traps then are tightening up. Your neck is getting hurt. I have neck problems because my psoas is so tight. And you're physiologically ruining your body. You're mentally ruining your body. And you're not living with a purpose at that point, right? So now I understand making this video makes me feel better, adds value to me. Sharing things out and doing all the things I do, that adds value to my life. And you can do it too. You don't have to create. You can just help share and help give and help empower people And that, I promise, will cure your depression in 30 seconds. 30 seconds making a decision to thank someone, to share some stuff, to be grateful, to be happy, be nice. All these things. Harvard has shown that if you just smile like this, a big fake smile, it instantly cures your depression for that moment. Like it's instant, because all we're doing is dopamine surfing. We're just rushing for dopamine. That's why people are addicted to pornography and watch it 55 times a day, because it's just dopamine rush over and over again, so they don't have to think about anything. It's like a drug. Drugs give you dopamine. That's why people are addicted to drugs, because it gives you the dopamine rush, so you don't have to care about anything. Now, I just wanted to touch on this, and I wanted to share this with you because it is the secret to happiness. And I've listened to 50 billion podcasts about this. This is all what it boils down to. From doctors, from people like Tony Robbins, it all comes down to this kernel of 30 seconds. Can you take 30 seconds out of your day to decide how you're going to give value today? And you will instantly be happier. And I want you to email me, and I want you to put it in the comments, and I want you to tell me what you did. And I want you to tell me how you felt about it, and if it made you happy, because it does. And I want you to share with us what you're doing, because when you share things like that, it cultivates this good mindset. And you can't control what Monsanto is doing and what Goldman Sachs are doing. You cannot control all that. You can control your cerebral cortex. You can control your brain valve. And you can live with purpose and not let anything hit you, because you're wearing a big chunk of armor. And when you tighten up like that, as everyone does, and I see it every single day, that psoas gets so tight and you have physiological problems for the rest of your life. And I have them too. I'm the one also working through this. That's why it's so powerful to me, and that's why I'm so invested in learning more about this. So I'm Anthony Gucciardi, and I encourage you to really listen to this and listen to it again. Listen to it for a second time, a third time, a fourth time, and actually take 30 seconds out of your day as a building block. Because there's going to be more videos about this too, more tips and everything. As a building block, take 30 seconds out of your day and decide what you're going to do to give value. Instead of pulling, you're going to push value. I'm Anthony Gucciardi. Thank you for watching, and I do want you to email me. I do want you to comment what you're going to do with these 30 seconds, and trust me, it really does work.